Greetings, humans. I hope you're doing well today. I want to offer up a meditation today that is something that I've kind of used to quiet that little inner critic that sometimes happens. RuPaul calls it your inner saboteur. Eckhart Tolle calls it your mind, your pain body. I just often refer to it as that asshole. So this one's going to have a little saltier language than most. It's almost impossible to shut that voice off, but I have found ways to sort of diffuse it a bit. And those are some practices that I want to kind of share with you today. So, it's the voice that we're all familiar with, but rarely want to admit that we have. It's the one that tells us, that we're not good enough for something, or that we don't deserve something, or you messed up again, or you're too old to do this, it's too late for that. All of those things, which I think most people can relate to. So we'll call it the STFU meditation. So find you a comfortable seat first. That might be, if you want to sit cross-legged on your floor, feel free to do that. If you want to sit in a chair, have your feet on the floor, try not to cross your legs. You could do this laying down, but I find that I tend to just kind of doze off and fall asleep when I do that. So finding the comfortable seat that works for you. Now, this is a meditation that I like to feel a little bit more grounded in. So I bring my palms to my thighs or to my knees just to kind of settle me in. So maybe take a deep breath in and open your mouth and let that breath sigh out. Do that a couple of times. Then we're going to breathe in, maybe to the count of 4. If you have to stop shy of that, feel free. Pause. Exhale to the count of 6. Again, inhale to the count of 4. Exhale to 6, maybe 8. Then do 2 more rounds of that 4, 8, or maybe you do a 5, 10. Then try to let your breath not become the focus anymore. It's there. You're aware that you're breathing. We'll kind of shift that focus, that attention to maybe within our body. Let's start first in the face. Does it feel like there's some space between your brows? You might need to raise and lower them a couple of times. Are your eyes softly closed, or are you squeezing them shut? What about that jaw? Are you clenching, or is there some space between the upper and lower jaw? How about those shoulders? They feel like they're down from your ears, or are they kind of riding up? Is your posture kind of slumped and rounded? Are you gripping your fingers into your knees? Are you clenching your glutes? Are you clawing your toes into the floor or into each other? If you're doing any of those things, my suggestion would be to stop doing that. Then let's just start to scan that mind. Thoughts, of course, are going to pop in because that's how your brain is designed to work. So can we just acknowledge the thought? Thinking. Can we label it? And some of the labels memory, idea, completely made up scenario that will probably never happen. And then can we let it go? Now that last part is the one that sometimes that little voice comes in. You know, Eckhart Tolle recommends that you name your pain body so that when it pops up, you could say, oh, hey, you know, whatever name you gave it. I used to call mine one name, but then I started dating a person with that name, and it just got a little confusing. And then I read that Sharon Salzberg named hers Lucy Van Pelt from the Peanuts cartoons. So now I call mine Lucy. So maybe this is when Lucy starts to chime in. And this is where we have that choice of either giving into that voice or trying to diffuse that voice. So a couple of things I like to do is, one, I like to just imagine that it's just complete gibberish. And my sources of inspiration are the Swedish chef from the Muppet Show or the teacher from the Peanuts cartoons. So when Lucy starts offering me her opinion, you could either do like the Swedish chef, or teacher from the Peanuts. So as we sit here, no effort to stop the thinking. Acknowledge. Label. And then if it's that inner saboteur, woof the ha. Now this voice can get very aggressive. It has a role that it wants to maintain. So another tool that I use will be just to mock the voice. You know, if you have a sibling and they always mock what you say, you know, like when you were kids, like repeating everything they say in a mocking tone, try that. Like, so as you're having that thought and your inner voice comes in, oh, it's too late for me to do that. There's also some degree of silliness that you kind of have to embrace with this meditation. We sit, we breathe, we acknowledge there's something happening, we label it, we Swedish chef it, or we mock it. And my last little tool that I would suggest would be to just tell it to shut up. And you could just keep it clean like that. Or you could say, shut the hell up. Or I like to name it. And then my words of choice are a little bit more aggressive. You could say, for me, for example, I would say, hey, Lucy, shut the blank up. I don't need your input right here. So let's try that for a few minutes. These tools that you have in your belt for this, the gibberish, the mocking, or the just telling it to shut up. We'll close this practice by, again, just taking a couple of deep breaths in and out. And then as you're ready, You can open your eyes. So, I think a lot of times we just give that inner voice, that inner critic, way too much power, And this is just a way of defusing that power, of kind of cutting off its air supply a little bit. And because it is only as strong as the attention that we give it. One of my favorite quotes is that, worrying is praying for the worst case scenario to come true. And a lot of times that's what that inner voice is counting on. But you are stronger than it, and you can actually befriend it. And hopefully this meditation will help you. So I hope it serves you, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you.